All right, y'all, what's up? This is Audible, and I'm bringing to you another edition of Audible Thinking Podcast. And let me just say that, first and foremost, this iPad, Apple products in general, have been coming in clutch for me, man. They've been so nice. I don't know what it is about Apple products, and I know a lot of you may disagree. A lot of you may prefer Samsung and PC and stuff like that. I get it, but man, this stuff is very convenient, especially for multimedia purposes. And some of you may or may not understand that, like, multimedia and Apple products go hand in hand. You know, in gaming, we go through these times where our our connections are tested, our minds are tested, and it's so strange. It's so strange to witness, for the most part, like this console war stuff, and it brings out so much that we can talk about, really. And I think one of those things that we can talk about in regards to this console war stuff is friendships, and in the sense of, who are your friends? Why are they your friends? Who are your acquaintances? Who are people that you can trust? Who are people that are friends with you for your benefit? Who are people who really want you to succeed versus who are people who don't really care if you succeed or not? Who are those people? How can you tell the difference? Who are your followers? Who are the people that follow you? And why do they follow you? Do they matter to you? Why should they matter to you? And why should you matter to them? So, to unpack this, I think the first thing we can look at is how to determine who is your friend or not. And there's a couple of ways to kind of look at this. And I feel like the primary flag or tell of a friend is someone who is always there for you. Who's always there? Who's always there by your side, wanting to help, wanting to provide, with no expectation of anything in return? Who is that unconditional friend that no matter what is going to, one, tell you the truth, two, hold you accountable, three, stick up for you, and four, build you up when you're down, hold you up when you're down? Who is that? Who is that in your life? And not a lot of people are going to do that. A lot of people will go quiet, go dark when you're in trouble. A lot of people will talk behind your back and chit chat behind your back when things happen. You know, there's a lot of two-faced stuff going on around in our community. I'm assuming, I haven't seen anything in particular, but there's a lot of talking going on, and we kind of realize that everybody's not equipped to be someone's friend. Not everybody is equally yoked. Not everybody is really going to be intentional with someone else. Sometimes all it comes down to is what a person can get from someone else. What kind of, and that goes back to the viewership thing. We have our followers as content creators, we have our followers, we have our viewers, and really we're giving a service to viewers as content creators. And a lot of times we have certain people that enjoy our content, and then we have other people that enjoy using our content for slander and stuff like that too. But as far as friends go, in the viewership category, there's different levels of it, and I feel like that people who are always there, always chatting in your channel whenever you're streaming and stuff like that, those people genuinely like you. Light Shadow is one of those people that always show up. Flameser is someone that typically shows up to my streams, and I can tell that they just like my content because they just show up and they support and they stick around. They lurk or they chat or whatever. And those are just two examples, but I don't have any like their value to me is worth me streaming. Like I pretty much stream for those people that regularly show up to my channel to consume my content, go to my YouTube pages or page to consume my content. And I'm happy to provide the entertainment to them. What does that look like if you're someone that's bigger than me? You know what I mean? Like, that's not necessarily a smaller streamer as myself. You see that at a greater scale. You see a lot of people that follow your content because they just like your content for what it is and for who you are. But then you have another part to that following of people who are there for really weird reasons. Whether it's because they want to just be a part of a community, which is not so weird, or they have some sort of affection for you, which is weird, or they feel a certain type of way, or they don't like you and they want to take your content and use it and put it in a negative light. There's those people too, like the crime side type of vibe where people just show up just to talk trash. Content creators, we like all of those. Haters are, are valued too. But it's those people that try to get close to you for reasons that are not genuine. Those are the people that you have to watch out for. It's those people who call you acquaintances or call you an acquaintance and really don't want to be an acquaintance just because of how much they like you as a person. They want something out of you. They want like, for example, if I was if I was, if I had 200,000 or 300,000 followers, people would want, interaction from me just because I have a big following. I've seen this from time to time, time and time again, where, the more famous or the more popular someone is, people want to be your friend or be an acquaintance of yours, just so they can say that they were an acquaintance of yours. That like it's not a genuine want to be someone's friend just because they like you that much or they want to get to know you. It's for personal gain, or let's just say they find you attractive. A lot of people want interaction with those people who are attractive because they like the attention of someone who's attractive to them, and so they become a friend, quote unquote, to you because it makes them feel better about themselves that someone attractive is giving them attention and is talking to them. And then you have those people who want to become your friend just so they can get some inside information and turn around and talk about you behind your back to someone else and give them information and just stir up trouble. So, it's hard to pick out people who really mean to be just genuine friends, which is the reason why, we have to keep our circles kind of close, kind of tight. And I'm beginning to learn, even though I don't have a large following yet, I'm learning that, first of all, you don't have to have a lot of friends. Even in life, you don't have to have a lot of friends. And I've had many friends. Not everybody is going to be genuinely be for you. And even then, even if they are, things change, seasons change. And, I've had friendships I've went my separate ways with certain people. Some in a good way, some in a bad way. And it's the same thing in the gaming world, in our gaming community. Sometimes you find out that people don't have your best interest in heart. And, some connections, you realize that people don't have that connection with you because they don't have your best interest at heart. You find out things on the back end from someone else that same person or a mutual friend is not really your friend. So what do you do? Like, how do you determine who's going to really be your friend? And it comes back down to having a tight circle, being around people that regularly uplift you, that want to uplift you, that want to tell you the truth, that want to hold you accountable, and not in a toxic way, but in an honest way, and in a loving way. There are certain people that want to be there for you through the thick and thin, and want you to succeed and want to uplift you. And that, for me, are the problem solvers. And I feel like I'm in a circle that really is honest, that's funny. We joke all the time. And most importantly, we are honest about each other and about our surroundings. And, we lift each other up and we keep it real, man. We keep it real. and honest and true, and we all want to see each other succeed. And that's what's important. You got to be around people that are positive and want you to succeed, not cut you down, and not make you feel like you're less than. And in general, you don't want to be around people that make you feel like you're less than. And really, you don't want to be around people that maliciously attack other people. And there's a difference between, and let me say this, there's a difference between being malicious towards someone, either on Twitter or in content. There's a difference between being malicious and attacking someone personally and doing something in jest and doing something that's silly and innocent. There's a difference. And when those things happen, how we react to those things and how we react to those situations, it matters. And our actions matter. Everything matters. It comes back to our professionalism. It comes back to just our presence online. What we condone and what we don't condone, and who we interact with. All that stuff matters, and it's connected to our content. It's connected to who we are as people. It's connected to who we are in our community. It all matters. It all comes back full circle, because guess what? Somewhere down the line, when we have a serious, interview or let's just say we have a magazine interview or whatever, we'll become successful, whatever the case is. Or if you have somebody that you want to partner with or whatever in the gaming scene or whatever, they're going to look at our history. They're going to pull up our name and our history and see how we treat other people. And they're going to see how we react to people. They're going to see how they're going to look at our content and see how we talk about other people and talk about other people in the gaming scene, which is the reason why, I try my best to be careful about how I talk about, we all joke about, stuff like Phil Spencer and all that stuff. We just joke and kid and all this type of stuff, and he sees this stuff, and at the end of the day, it's just jokes, but sometimes you can go too far too. and that stuff will come back to bite you if you're really just and I'm just using Phil as an example. But these people that, these content creators and, these high profile corporate individuals related to Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo and stuff like that, they're not blind, and they have people that work for them that show them stuff, and have friends that show them stuff and stuff like that. And people will look at your content and look you up on Twitter and look you up on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, wherever. And they're going to see the stuff that you said, and they're going to not only the stuff that you said about them, but the stuff that you said about other people. And it may not matter to you now, but it's going to matter down the road whenever you're trying to cut a deal or make a new connection in the business world or what have you. That stuff matters. Even if you've already made that connection, it will change the connection that you have depending on how you treat other people. That stuff is, I'm not big on karma or whatever, but it's a thing, man. It's a thing that the energy that you put out in the universe, the energy that you put out in the universe, is you put it out there, and you're gonna get that energy back, and God doesn't like ugly. God doesn't like ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Like, you have to really be careful. And it may not matter to a lot of people. And this may not matter to a lot of people. But for those that want to set themselves apart and want to create genuine friendships and want to succeed, you have to know who your friends are, who your true friends are, and know that those friends are there for you regardless of what happens, regardless of, any kind of fallout or whatever. Real friends will talk to you and work things out if there's a problem. Real friends will be there for you and be by your side regardless. If they are there for you, they're going to accept you for who you are, both bad and good. And those are the type of friends you're going to need to have if you want to have genuine friendship. And furthermore, if you want to grow in this gaming community as far as being a content creator, yes, you can get a lot of notoriety through console warring and crime side activities and stuff like that. That's fine. It's entertaining to a lot of people. But if you really think about it, you look at these content creators that like Ninja and Tim the Tap Man and Dr. Disrespect and all these big names of people, Pokimane and Valkyrie, and they have their little dramas, but for the most part you don't see them talking to a lot of people in the community. You don't see them going back and forth with people in the community because first of all, they don't have time. Second of all, that's not anything that's going to build them up. It's not worth the time because it's not making them money. And to be honest, like they probably have their own circles too. First of all, Tim the Tap Man and Ninja and Cypher PK and all these people, like they know each other personally. Dr. Disrespect, they are the circle. Like, they know each other, and so they schedule their times that they're going to stream together and all this type of stuff. But they do it behind closed doors, and they don't involve their whole community in what they do. And it's difficult for content creators to kind of go in between the community and followers and stuff like that, and true people, true friends that they can grow with and do content creation with. I mean, if you notice, all those guys, they're friends because they're content creators. And the people that show up to their streams, a lot of these people have to pay to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they have set themselves, they have created a veil between themselves and the rest of the gaming community. And I see that now. The reason why they've done that is because so many people are so prone to being toxic that it's not worth their time to entertain it. It's not worth their time to if you're going to be toxic, if you're going to be crazy and be weird, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay, man. It's just like that now. It's like that. Like you once you hit a certain number of followers or whatever, it stops becoming about, how you can trigger the content creator, and more about like you hear and you just hear. You show up and you just there, and if you want to say something crazy, you can, but the mod's going to be right there to knock that down as soon as you say something crazy. And if it's something cool, it's cool, but still, if you want something from somebody, you got to give something to. And that's why they charge people. Like, listen, Dr. Disrespect, if you ever go to one of his channels, he rarely reads anything from the chat unless it's a don't know. Because first and foremost, he's got too many people in there anyway. And then a lot of times they put it on sub-only mode, stuff like that. And it seems so like greedy almost, but I get it. Like the more I watch this gaming community, the more I see how people interact with one another. I get it. I understand how they act. And I'm not gonna lie, like I talked about like Shadow, and I talked about Flameser. I just use those two as an example, but like if I ever get to a point where I'm a Dr. Disrespect or a Valkyrie or a Pokimane or something like that, if I ever get to that point, I'm gonna hold, like Shadow and Flameser and people like them in high regard. And when I see them comment, like I'm definitely going to like acknowledge that. But for the most part, these people that just show up and just start talking, and saying crazy stuff, like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to see it. Like, I'm not going to see it. And I feel like, again, that's how a lot of these content creators move. It's the fact that, they don't have time because they're too busy being successful. They're too busy being positive, and it's better to have that energy, spend that energy being positive, being uplifting, and creating those positive connections. That synergy that you have with people. I mean, it's just as infectious as being toxic almost. And we have to make a choice, especially as content creators. We got to make a choice. Either we're going to be positive and only accept positivity and synergy and good vibes in our workflow as content creators, or we could submit to the toxicity and junk that comes with content creation and people just saying what they want to say just to get a reaction. I don't like it. And I don't have that much reaction like that. Like, I don't get the kind of interaction that I would like. But hey, even if I do, and when I do, because I have, especially on TikTok, it's best to just ignore it, really. And I mean, we have to, you grow a thick skin, but at the same time, like, people want to get something out of. There's a weird desire for people to want to say something negative to get something out of a content creator. And I've seen it with big creators. I've seen it with small creators. I've seen it with people with a lot of followers and people with not a lot of followers. Just say something just to get a trigger out of another content creator or out of a person, just to have them respond because you want that response, or you want to make yourself bigger than who you are, or you want people to attack that. I mean, like, it's dumb. Like, it's the whole sense of just, warring. First of all, console warring is crazy in itself anyway. But that whole thing with console warring, and that'll be another podcast, but it creates delusions, delusional people. And to dive off into that, it's just insanity. Pure insanity. And I've seen content creators kind of go down that road Unfortunately, and I've just, just kind of watched them just dive into that toxicity, and it's just tough, man. Like I said, it's one thing to be lighthearted and to joke about it and stuff like that. That's one thing, but to be serious about it and start getting personal over a console, over some video games is insane. It's insane. And I don't know, man. I feel like if you're into that, that's fine. But man, like, as content creators that really want to do something, that really want to be successful, that really want to set themselves apart, I think we're understanding and learning that whole world is not for us. It's not for us. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, a waste of energy, and it's stupid. It's just flat out stupid. But anyway, make sure that you choose who your friends are. Choose who your friends are. Analyze how they react to you. Analyze what they desire for you. Look at how they act in your DM versus out in public. Do they treat you differently in behind closed doors than they do out in public? Ask yourself, is this person truly my friend? And you'll come to find out that a lot of people are not truly your friend, which is unfortunate, but it's just a fact. But it's good to have a certain amount of people that you know is going to be there for you through thick and thin. It's not going to switch up on you. It's not going to be weird, and if someone decides that they don't want to, talk to you anymore or whatever, or don't want to follow you or whatever, let them go. Let them go. That is a sign of a season changing. But I'm so thankful that I know I have a group of friends that I can trust, that I can confide in, and I know who they are. I can count them on my hands, but I know who they are, and they're gonna be real with me. They've been real with me before. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been honest with me before about myself. And, I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for true, genuine friendship. And, man, like, they support me. They support my content. And, I can't say the same about, a lot of people in this community. A lot of people just kind of crabs in the barrel type of situation where, everybody's trying to do their own thing. And I appreciate this community for what it is, this gaming community for what it is, but I also understand that, there's some weirdos. There's some weird stuff going on in this community too that I can't vibe with. So know who your friends are. Know who's truly down for you. And man, a lot of people, you got to keep it arm's length, man. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect your health, your mental health. I mean, obviously your physical health, your mental health, and spiritual health, but you gotta take care of yourself too, especially your mental health. And people are out to destroy your mind. and destroy your mental health. You got to be able to decipher who is going to be healthy for you. Even if it's people that are new followers or new people in the community, whatever, they have just as much power to drag you down as somebody that's been there for years. Especially if it's a lot of people just being weird and being toxic. That's just as powerful as somebody that you've known for years that all of a sudden they switch up on you, and you don't know why. That's tough. That's tough. But you gotta know, man. You gotta really invest. You gotta invest in other people first and see how people invest in you. Not to invest in somebody so that they can invest in you. You have to invest in someone not looking for a return on investment, and see how they invest in you without them expecting a return on investment from you. And that's just how it goes. Anyway, thanks for listening. I appreciate y'all. Please, comment, rate this, rate this podcast or leave a comment. And just tell me what you think. And leave a good review. Even if it's a bad review, just leave a review. And I appreciate you guys so much for listening. I know this was a long one, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like, I feel like there's so much. Again, like I said in the last podcast, there's so much to unpack. As far as being a content creator, I've been one since 2017, and I can tell you so much stuff that goes along with this that you guys don't even realize. But I hope that you guys stick around for it. In the upcoming episodes, I'm going to try to do this as much as possible, at least weekly. So hope you guys tune in. But again, this has been Audible, and appreciate you listening, and I will see you next time. Peace.